He used to be a Swiss player, then he became kind of a European player. He's absolutely an international player now that appeals across the world.
He's naturally an elegant young man, and I think that he has understood the power of appearance in a media-driven world.
He's doing really well off court. He's doing charity. I think he's doing all the right things that you expect from a great champion.
I think he just feels if he can make a difference in a few people's lives. He's just had so many opportunities, and he can give those to others. I think that's what he's going to try to focus on.
New York, and even for a city that has seen everything, there's a buzz of sporting anticipation in the air. Tennis is returning to Manhattan, and Madison Square Garden, the city's legendary sporting complex, is the venue. The crowd will be a 19,000 sellout. And the reason for the anticipation is that Roger Federer is in town.
Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce to you this morning tennis immortals, Roger Federer and Pete Sampras.
The world's current #1 and the all-time Grand Slam winner are facing each other in a multi-million-dollar matchup.
For me, first time Madison Square Garden. It's really an honor for me to be able to play in this arena where all, so many great performers and, athletes have played.
The only time the two played professionally saw Roger defeat Sampras at Wimbledon in 2001. A key moment in both players' careers and a landmark moment in tennis history. The rematch at the Garden is a rare encounter between past and present, and a tantalizing glimpse of what might have been.
I think if he and I would have battled in our primes at final Wimbledon or the US Open, I think it might have been some of the best tennis ever. With me kind of coming in, him being a great baseliner, and our two great athletes playing out there, I think it would have been fun. It didn't happen, we just missed each other, but we had that one match, which they kept a little bit short, but even back then I knew Roger was a special talent.
Now tennis's uncontested #1. When Federer began his professional career a decade ago, it was Sampras who was the sport's king.
I remember always when Sampras would come into the locker room, it would always get very quiet because of the huge respect, we all had for Pete Sampras and his great achievements, and so I remember, I think once in Queens, I came into the locker room, he was sitting there, I was like, oh, this is Pete Sampras, this is too much, A
sellout crowd descends on the Garden for the encounter, and Tiger Woods is one of the many spectators intrigued by the matchup. So overwhelmingly superior has Federer been in men's tennis over the last 4 years that comparisons have had to be made with the giants of other sports. And it is to Woods that Federer has most often been likened. When the two dominant forces in golf and tennis first met at the 2006 US Open, it marked the start of a firm friendship.
Great moment for me to meet Tiger Woods. I mean, I admire what he has done on the golf course, and as a person, the way he's been able to change golf, basically, make it really popular and, make it a cool sport, from being a very quiet sport, let's put it that way. So to know him now as a person too, and consider him a friend, is one of those great moments. I really think I got lucky to meet him through tennis.
We are very similar in the sense that we have this understanding, it's an unwritten rule, of what it takes to get there, the amount of dedication, the amount of work. People don't realize, you think you just show up and you just play well in slams. For us to just go out there and hit 300-yard drives and make putts, we both love it.
In New York, the Madison Square Garden crowd thrill at seeing the 36-year-old Sampras try to turn back the clock against Federer with his serve and volley game. And Sampras isn't shy in passing off Tiger's trademark celebration as his own when his shots do pay off. But when you're facing the best baseliner in the business, let alone one 10 years your junior, heading for the net isn't always the best option. But this game is less about bragging rights and more about promoting the game and entertaining the crowd. After a third set tiebreak, unsurprisingly, it's the world's current best player who comes out on top. But on this occasion, the game of tennis is the winner.
It was a great night for tennis, great night for me personally, just to go out and play in front of 19,000 people in New York. A little disappointed I didn't come up with the win.
No, for me, I mean, hit some great shots when I needed to, and turned out to be this thriller match, which is fantastic under the circumstances tonight in front of so many people.
On Fifth Avenue, the boutiques and fashion stores of New York's glamorous shopping district offer a welcome distraction away from the tennis court. Here, Roger can indulge his passion for fashion.
I think the fashion world is very nice, to be honest. But in the beginning, I didn't feel 100% comfortable in a suit. You know, I felt better in jeans and a T-shirt. Now I like both, you know, because I think dressing up in a suit is something very sophisticated, something very nice, and I like going shopping.
The teenager who once wore only sports clothing has become a fashion icon.
Roger's absolutely a poster boy for Men's Vogue. I mean, he represents everything that the magazine believes in, which is style and intelligence and being the best at what he does. And when we launched the magazine 2 years ago, I mean, he was right at the top of the list of the people that we absolutely wanted to have on the cover of the magazine.
Honestly, going also to see fashion shows, you know, I saw Oscar de la Renta, Marc Jacobs, and it's just nice once in a while to get away from the whole tennis world, you know, and see and meet different people. It's something also that's become a little bit more part of my life now.
The most obvious manifestation of Roger's interest in fashion is the specially designed clothing used to celebrate his triumphs at the All England Club.
Well, Roger's image is unique. It's understated, I would say. It's, I guess, kind of James Bondian, that you have to take a close look and find it, but it's very definitely there. What we wanted to do is get something that really reflected who Roger Federer was, and to come out with the white sports coat with the stars representing all his championships, I really think reflected who he was.
And I think his sensibility of wearing something that is a little bit more retro for Wimbledon, because that's a tournament that's so much steeped in history.
40-30.
I don't think that in any way makes him old-fashioned. You know, I think the black outfit that he wore at the Open last year didn't, to me in any way, look like the past. It looked very much like the future.
As one of the most recognizable sports people on the planet, there are few places where Roger Federer can escape the adulation of his fans.
Thank you.
It's proof of Federer's global appeal and commercial attraction. His earning power has made him one of the wealthiest sports stars in the world.
I really tried to be hands-on with my business, and honestly, I'm very happy the way things are running for me, not only on the court but also off the court, you know, with my sponsors and everything. It's very important to me that, you know, I sleep well at night, basically.